Welcome back for another video. One of the most polarising game weeks in FPL history in our rearview mirror now. We're back and looking forward to a double game week 27 up next. In this one we'll look at which players are projected to score the highest and guide our transfer plans and captaincy. Predicted points are courtesy of FPL Review. One of the few surprises of last game week was Brighton Sanchez losing his spot for the first game this season to back up Steele. De Zerbi said, quote, "Jason was fantastic in the build-up, for example, in my style. Maybe he's closer than Robert to my style. You have to be honest and clear, and Jason is now playing better than Robert. I think Robert can work to arrive at the same level." So as it stands, we have a 3.9 mil keeper with a double game week, and he's top of the projections with 7.5 points. There is a clear gamble here though. One bad performance could cost him his spot, and De Zerbi did remark that Sanchez can work to arrive at the same level. It's a double game week next for Brighton, which is against Leeds and Crystal Palace, and they are expected to double in 34 and 37 later in the season. So the other concern is that he ideally needs to be a long-term pick, so you can use him in those weeks as well potentially. Wright is close behind on the projections, and he is a must-have on the wildcard with 5 games in his next 3 game weeks. They're away to Everton and Southampton this game week. 1.42 expected goals conceded against Fulham isn't great reading, nor's 1.11 XGC the week before against Palace, and 1.68 XGC against Arsenal before that. However, over the season, only Alisson's ahead on points. The other 2 goalkeepers with a double game week are Guaita and Bazunu, both with a poor double game week each. Palace face Man City and Brighton, while Southampton face Man United and Brentford. Elsewhere this week, no goalkeepers worth picking up. However, if you're looking to wildcard in Game Week 27, it's a slightly different story. The best pair is perhaps Raya and Ward, especially if you plan to bench boost in Game Week 29. Ward's not on the projections this week, but in Game Week 29 they face Crystal Palace and then Aston Villa. If you don't plan to bench boost Game Week 29, for example if you've already used it or want to use it later in the season, then Raya and De Gea could be the best goalkeeper combo. Sounds a bit mad after Man United let in 7 goals, but they double in Game Week 29 and they should double in Game Week 34 and 37. We'll talk more about the doubles and blanks this week, so make sure you're subscribed. Next up, the defenders, and it's the double game weekers as you'd expect. Dunk, Estepinian and Webster top. The top 2 are the best picks. Dunk's the consistent nailed centre back, and Estepinian carries the attacking threat down the left. In my eyes, Estepinian is better, having racked up 5 assists this season with some limited minutes. The Brentford defenders are all close though. Over the season, Henry actually has the best expected goal involvement in defence in terms of underlying numbers, but it was Pinnock who got the goal last game week, and he has the lowest expected goal involvement of the 3 over the season, and Ben Mee blanked. The huge appeal with the Brentford assets is that they play in blank Game Week 28 as well, albeit against Leicester. If you're already wildcarded or plan to use in a later game week, then Brentford defenders are the answer this week. However, if you plan to wildcard into Game Week 28, then the Brighton defenders are better, since they have the better projections this week. Southampton and Crystal Palace have the mentioned double as well, but no defenders worth grabbing this week. Moving on to the midfielders, and it's certainly going to be a fun week for captaincy. Mitoma's top with 8.6 points projected, but McAllister's practically equal with 8.5, March with 7.6. It's a similar situation to the Brighton defenders where there's not a lot separating them all. Post World Cup, March has comfortably the most points and expected goal involvement of the 3, but he blanked last game week while Mitoma and McAllister put up double-digit returns. Past results no indication of future outcomes, and we could see the opposite this week. We discussed on past videos that McAllister has moved further forward into the number 10 role and on penalty duties, and it was a penalty that put him on the score sheet last game week, his first goal since the World Cup. Mitoma and McAllister both look like the front runners now, and if I had to pick one it'd be Mitoma, but with the variance we've seen recently it really could go either way. March is 7.9% owned, McAllister 4% owned, so if you're chasing pure upside those are the 2. Ward-Prowse owners can feel hard done by after having a penalty last game week but it was saved, but it is a double game week for Southampton and they come into it with confidence off the back of a win. Realistically he's only worth considering as a 1 or 2 week punt if you're already tripled up on Brighton assets. As we know, he is on free kicks, corners and penalties, so there's always a chance of return from nothing. Gross and Zaha both avoids this week. The other Brighton mids represent better value, and Zaha's not returned since Game Week 15. A lot of pain in Game Week 26 for those that wildcarded Liverpool assets out, myself included, as Salah is in the projections for the Bournemouth game, which did end 9-0 in the reverse fixture earlier in the season. Rashford's the other single game weeker, and he's projected 6.5 points. Onto the forwards, and not just top among the forwards but among all players is Tony with 8.1 points. Scored from the penalty spot against Fulham and left with 2 bonus points. Tony's projected points over the next 5 do have some decay due to the uncertainty surrounding his upcoming ban, which might not arrive until April, but there is a chance he misses some or all of double game week 29. Tottenham are home to Nottingham Forest and Kane's second on the projections with 6.8 points. On a wildcard, you definitely have him as he plays in game week 28 as well, with many teams blank. Ferguson got another start for the West Ham game and only 4.6 mil, and he has 5 attacking returns to his name this season. A perfect enabler, but it is debatable whether the striker spot's worth using on him as far as potential transfers in. Tony, Kane and Mbeumo, Watkins all arguably better picks, and many of you will be keeping Haaland as well. There is also a chance that Welbeck comes in and starts a game at any point as well. Che Adams returned from injury in game week 26 for the first time in a while, and he assisted Southampton's crucial winner. They have missed him, and perhaps he's a very left field punt with a double game week, and he does play in game week 28 as well. Game week 28 will be a very interesting week as far as what people do with Haaland. We'll talk more about that next week. There is a strong debate to temporarily selling him and then getting him back later. Hit like if this video was useful for you today, and subscribe to the channel for more FPL content to come this week. See you soon for the next one.